25 grains of FF black powder under a 250 grain bullet.
Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. I just got this Colt Single Action Army Cavalry Revolver. That's right, this one is a 7.5-inch barrel here, and it's US marked. It's one of the harder to find variants of a Colt revolver. Why is that? Colt made 357,859 single action armies, and out of those, 140,361 were actually in the Cavalry Revolver length, so the 7.5-inch barrel. Out of those, only 37,060 were US Army. This one is US Army. Oh, but it gets even better. About half of those were sent to refurbishment. That meant that they were taken apart, all the parts were all mixed up, the barrels were cut to 5.5 inches, and they were put back together and sent out as artillery revolvers. That was the nickname for them. Now the other half that didn't go through the refurbishment process, they were either at state militias or they might have been unaccounted for and just didn't go through the refurbishment process. Now this is one of those revolvers that survived the refurbishment process. So if you take a look here, all the serial numbers match. Now when I found this at a local pawn shop, I said, my gosh, that looks like they have something there that you just don't see every day. And I asked to take a look at it. I definitely knew what it was. I just didn't know a lot about it, but I knew enough to know what it was and know its value, or roundabout value. And I got a really good deal on it. And I don't think the shop really knew what they had. After doing a little bit more research, that's when I came to conclude that this is actually a grail gun. That's right, yeah, not too many people really come across these in this configuration just like this. And the Colt collectors out there will say that these are worth thousands of dollars, if not in the tens of thousands of dollars. So me finding this at a local pawn shop, that just proves that there's good deals out there. So you always gotta be searching for those good deals. And I made a whole video about this. Essentially, you gotta be out there looking for these good deals. You gotta have the knowledge to know what you're looking at and know what a good deal is when you see it. As a collector, you should definitely know how to find those good deals. Not only did I want this for my collection because it was a great deal, I also wanted this because it is US Cavalry. I was in the 1st Cav back from 2008 to 2012 and did 2 deployments to Iraq with that unit. My grandfather was also cavalry. He was in the Cuban military. So he rode horses all the way up to about World War II time frame, and they ended up getting some tanks. So he was there for the integration of tanks in Cuba. This is incredible history, and this history is very closely tied to this revolver, the family history, and my history. So definitely a great addition to my collection. And actually, we took it to the range. I was at my buddy Will's place at Gunpowder Acres, and he made some black powder 45 Colt for it.
Those are 25 grains of FF black powder under a 250 grain bullet. That was low.
That was really low then, huh?
There's a hit.
So one of the things we had to do was, after the range, was we had to strip it down and we had to clean it because it is black powder. And we decided to do a thorough breakdown and cleaning. Now, when you deal with revolvers, single action revolvers, you always hear about the 4 clicks, right? You got 1 right there close by, you got 2, and then you got about a 3rd one, see? And then there's a 4th one. Well, what we realized was that the 3rd click here is not at the right time. So not only do you need to have those 4 clicks, but they have to be present at the right time. Something was wrong. So we realized that the bolt was actually somewhat broken. So I definitely need to get a new bolt for this, and it needs to be timed and fitted correctly. What you'll notice, the problem is on that 3rd click, that's when this cylinder stop is supposed to rise up and click into place. Well, it goes too early because the bolt is broken, and so you'll see this line that goes along here, along the cylinder, and that's caused because of that. When I first got the revolver, I didn't know that was the third click was too short, and so the line was apparent there. It was already there when I took the initial photos, so I know it wasn't something that we did when we were shooting. But either way, I wouldn't probably want to shoot this again until I get it fixed. It's a very hard to find piece, and it's one of those that is very well coveted amongst collectors and very sought after, especially if you're a hardcore Colt collector out there. So this probably is one of the most collectible weapons I have in my collection now. Let me know what you guys have in your collection that is really rare, really collectible, or maybe that just is very unique to what you collect. Also, be sure to check out the merchandise link in the description. Pick yourself up a Battlefield Curator hoodie, a shirt, or a jacket. And definitely, it's the best way to support the channel. Definitely appreciate it. Pulverize the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And as always, like to say, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.